Hey, are you a creative teacher or coach struggling with how do you create more content? You don't even know what to talk about. In this lesson, we're learning all about leveraging your students' questions to help you generate more content. So that way you can actually grow faster. Hey, I'm Angel from RTCourseExperts.com, and we help creative professionals that teach with tech for their online courses, membership communities, and coaching websites. In this lesson, we're learning all about leveraging your content, your marketing content. In this lesson, we're learning all about leveraging your student questions to create content for teachers, coaches, trainers, basically turning those common again and again questions into posts, emails, short videos. And before you know it, you're creating a bunch of content for future prospects that will end up becoming your future paid students. All right, let's get into it. So many coaches, trainers, teachers are often asking the same question. What should I create content about? What should I talk about? I don't even know what to talk about, right? One of the most powerful and overlooked sources of marketing content is the questions that students are already asking you. They could be asking you these questions in a variety of different forms. It could be on your course, in your community. They could be DMing you when you make a post. They could be questions to your ebooks or lead magnet. They could be questions and comments on your blog. Each of these questions is a real challenge that other students need answers for. When you answer these questions publicly, you're helping future customers who are facing the same situation and looking for an expert to guide them. Here are simple ways to turn student questions into valuable marketing content. Listen for questions asked during training sessions. You're going to answer questions, but you're going to pay attention. Start noticing that these questions come up again and again, and they usually show up in emails or messages or comments, or even during your live training sessions, maybe your office hours, your monthly seminars, whatever. A teacher is going to start to hear, you might hear somebody say to you, hey, how long before I see results? Or how long before I could do this all on my own? Another student might ask you, hey, I need to set up my sewing machine. How exactly do I configure this sewing machine with the foot pedals and all this other stuff? These aren't just random questions. These are actual signals that your audience cares about these topics, right? So when multiple people are asking the same stuff, that's a pretty strong clue that, hey, there you go. Ding, 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 pay attention. That's future content that you should capture and reuse and put out there. Okay, so just keep a document like with all these questions. If you need to, you could keep several different kinds of documents for different kinds of topics, but I call it a backlog of ideas. So whenever I have an idea or I see something, or whenever a question comes up from a student or in my coaching, I grab that, throw it in there, throw it in that list. I think about the question, I say, wow, lots of other people are going to ask about this. Let me just throw this on my backlog. So the important part here is that as a teacher, as a coach, you're just cognizant of what's going on. Like, oh, I'm actually answering a question that is probably going to help many other people. Let me log it, right? So that's the key thing here. The next one is to turn those common questions into marketing assets. Think of this as like your giant list of frequently asked questions, except they're turning into social media posts. You don't need to complicate things. Just take that question, answer it right there. It could be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, but that's your answer. That's your content. That answer could be trimmed down into an email, a quick video, a short, a blog lesson. For example, if somebody asked you, hey, how do I add an echo to an audio track? You could share a short explanation. Or maybe if somebody asks, hey, how do I animate a sprite in a video game, right? I got this new retro video game. You're going to answer that. You can even do a screen share, you using the software to build the thing, you using your hands to do a certain, you're teaching them this technique with your hands or your face or whatever. You could show them. It could be a quick video, it could be a couple of images, it could just be a bulleted list, but you're sharing these answers that you're already giving your student. You could even leverage the same answer that you just gave your student as the core asset for that you're sharing outward with the rest of your community, okay? But basically, you're using mini content for marketing purposes. Next, you want to break out multiple answers into different assets. So sometimes a single student question opens the door to several helpful answers. When that happens, don't squeeze everything into one asset. Instead, break those ideas out into a few different marketing lessons. For example, somebody asks you how to stay focused while acting. You could teach a whole bunch of different techniques for focusing while you're acting, right? So each one of those could be a different marketing asset, a different social media post, a different email, okay? It could be a different post on your online community. It's like different answers, different techniques, or maybe it's a subtle question and you can answer it a few different ways. You could each break those up into different ways to do that goal that your students are asking about. And you can even leverage like a social media carousel or something where they're all connected. Maybe it's like 3 in a row, it's 3 TikToks or whatever. It's like a series. That's cool. Your students are already showing you what content to create. When you pay attention to their questions, answer them clearly, and sometimes expand them into short lessons, you naturally build a stream of helpful marketing content. Your students are already showing you what content to create. So just pay attention and, ding, 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 and say, whoa, whoa, this is a question, this is an answer that lots of other people want to know. Go ahead and turn them into content. This approach keeps your ideas grounded with real challenges, and it makes teaching feel practical. This approach keeps your idea grounded with real answers and challenges. Instead of just guessing what your audience wants, you're actually responding. Instead of just guessing what your audience wants, you're actually sharing the content that they want to know about. Over time, this builds trust and positions you as the guide they were looking for. There's also a quiet opportunity for a tech advantage here. You guys know at RT Course Experts, we're constantly thinking about building tech, optimizing, maintaining, growing, scaling, etc. As a techie, I got to tell you, there's a real opportunity for a tech advantage here. Every repurposed answer can live on your platform and get shared across multiple channels using all the right systems, integrations, and tools. So don't be afraid to get leverage out of every bit of all your years of creative experience. The systems are going to help you multiply your reach for all your future customers, okay? So just leverage those systems, build that content, do your thing, teach, and answer questions. And then whenever it makes sense, grab that content somehow, either repurpose it immediately or just take a note and share it in a different way, but then get it out and about to all your different systems, right? All your different channels, all the different formats, all the different timings. It could be now, it could be later, it could be a series. It's okay. It's just working smarter, okay? All right, maximize your knowledge. There you go. Hey, if you're loving this stuff and want more smart ways to grow, subscribe now to keep leveling up your training business. Our team has guided and supported hundreds of creative professionals who have started educational businesses. To learn more, check out some of the resources and links on the blog by visiting www.rtcourseexperts.com. Thanks for hanging out. Let's stay in touch.